11 Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
And we come on the air this Sunday with breaking news. This is the scene moments ago along Oak Valley Road. That is across the street from Phipps Plaza and about a block from Lenox Square, right in the heart of Buckhead. We know that at least 3 people have been shot. Atlanta police telling us that one of them is still, that all of them are still alive right now. There's no word on the severity of the injuries. Once we know any more details, we will pass this along to you on air and online. We have more breaking news. This coming out of DeKalb County. Officers responding to a Popeyes chain at I-20 and Candler Road for the report of a person shot. DeKalb police tell us they found a 30-year-old man who was already dead. He had been shot in the leg and the back. We are told the shooting originally happened at a car on Memorial Drive. Any updates from here will pass along later tonight and online as well. On to the weather. What a difference 24 hours makes. Blue skies indeed. And you are looking at the King and Queen building in Sandy Springs. Last night at this time, a lot of rain across North Georgia, and now we are glad to have the sunshine, and it's a little bit cool outside, but you know what? We are not complaining. Our meteorologist, of course, Nicole Hartford.
What a beautiful day. This was our view earlier this morning as we started the day over downtown Atlanta. Still a good amount of cloud cover, but dry. And then we cleared those clouds out really quickly throughout the morning hours so that now we're barely seeing any clouds across the Atlanta metro area. Throughout the next few hours, we will start to build back in some of that cloud cover as we move into the overnight, which will help to keep our temperatures cool but comfortable. Right now we're in the 60s, 65 in Atlanta with mainly low to mid 60s up into far north Georgia. We do have some 50s as well. Our radar, no surprise, is about as clear as can be. Yeah, we have a little cloud cover here and there, but most of what we're seeing today is sunshine as we get closer to that sunset. We will start to build in those clouds come early tomorrow morning. So after about midnight, a few more clouds will start to develop. The cloud cover development will be late enough in the night so that temperatures are still going to get down into the low 40s across much of the state. So it's going to be just as chilly tomorrow morning as it was this morning. And honestly, your day looks pretty similar tomorrow as well. So on our Wizometer, that's how we rank your day on a scale from 1 to 11, 11 being a perfect day. We're going to give it a 9. We'll see a mix of cloud cover and sunshine. Temperatures pretty similar to where they are right now, but more warmth is in the forecast when we start to see more seasonable high temperatures coming up.
Happening today, Easter Sunday, Metro Atlanta's traditional showcase of the Holy Day atop Stone Mountain. The tradition started back in 1944 and came back last year after being put on hold during the pandemic. While yesterday's heavy rain already cleared in time for the sunrise service, tough weather conditions were still in play this morning. More on that now from 11 Alive's Eric Murphy.
Every year, people come from all around to Stone Mountain Park to celebrate Jesus Christ's resurrection by going to this mountaintop. But this year, the way that they were able to get to the mountaintop has changed because of the weather. Park rangers tell 11 Alive high winds kept some people away from the Easter Sunday service on top of Stone Mountain. Visitors could take a sky ride to the mountaintop when the park gates opened up at 3 in the morning, but sky ride operator Jim Boldman told us by 6:30, anyone wanting to attend the service had to walk up the mountain due to those high winds.
Yeah, when the wind starts getting around 30 miles an hour, we start taking people down. And once we get everybody down, we close the sky ride. If it ever gets to 35 miles an hour at that particular time, we shut it down completely.
Emily Brown braved the wind and the cold temps to celebrate Easter at the top of the mountain.
I think it's cool, like climbing all the way up and then getting to come up here and like celebrate together, kind of celebrate and be together as a family and just kind of have everyone else up here with us.
Park officials started bringing people down from the mountaintop when winds reached 25 miles an hour. The sky ride carries 80 people at a time. Despite this year's challenges, Easter service on Stone Mountain was a success. Park rangers tell 11 Alive almost 2,000 people came out for Easter service. Reporting from Stone Mountain, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
Celebrations on Easter Sunday stretched all across Metro Atlanta and all around the world. Today, Pope Francis prayed for the people of Ukraine, Russia, and other countries in conflict during the Easter blessing from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. He also referenced the recent clashes in the Middle East. In Jerusalem, prayed for the resumption of dialogue between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Nearly 100,000 people present in St. Peter's Square and surrounding streets for the annual Easter blessing. Back here, the nonprofit Hosea Helps was out hosting its 4th annual Easter Blessing celebration at its headquarters on Atlanta's Forest Hills Drive. This was an opportunity for the charity to offer families with communion food and a dose of fun. It was also an opportunity for Hosea Helps to get back to its roots, as it was forced to have strictly drive-through giveaways during the pandemic. So there was a bounce house, some face painting to go along with the giving of Easter baskets, and a hot meal as well. Happening tomorrow, early voting in Mableton, and most notably for that city's first ever mayor. Early voting starts tomorrow and will run through Friday the 14th. Ballots can be cast at the Mabel House Arts Center and South Cobb Community Center. If you are voting absentee, there are drop boxes at the early voting sites too. You can also hand deliver your ballot to the main elections office until Election Day. Along with the mayor's race, there are several city council seats in Mableton up for grabs in the April 18th runoff. Tyler Perry weighing in on the fallout following the expulsion of 2 Tennessee lawmakers. Democratic State Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson were removed from their seats by a Republican majority for their role in a gun reform protest on the House floor. Jones and Pearson are black. A 3rd Democrat, Gloria Johnson, who is white, survived expulsion by a single vote. In a tweet posted by Tyler Perry on Friday, he said he was proud of the actions Jones and Pearson took, adding that he could see a presidential run in their future. Now to continuing coverage on a convicted murderer who walked away from an Atlanta transitional facility last week. We first brought this story to you on Thursday night. Charles Edward Smith served time after he was convicted for a murder that occurred back in 1992. He was granted parole in 2021 and after serving 28 years of his life sentence. From there, on parole under supervision in the Atlanta Transition Center on Ponce, on Wednesday, he walked away breaking his parole. Today, we learned from the Gwinnett County Police Department that Smith was recaptured last night in Lawrenceville. Gwinnett Police now crediting the actions of its K-9 officer, Nitro, for tracking Smith down. Other stories we're tracking for you on the Sunday. 2 people are dead after a head-on crash yesterday in Pike County. The crash happened along State Highway 19 near the intersection of Pitts Lane, and that is about 5 miles to the north of the city of Zebulon. The Pike County Sheriff's Office put out word on the crash on its Facebook page, initially reporting that 1 person had died at the scene. Several other people were injured. This afternoon, the Sheriff's Office updated its post to reflect a second death. No word on any identities. A shooting along Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard this afternoon sends 1 person to Grady. It happened around 2 p.m. just north from Katherine Johnston Memorial Park. We do know the man who was shot survived. No word on a reason for the shooting or on the search for a suspect. Remember, when news breaks, make sure you have the free 11 Alive News app. Getting it is as easy as scanning that QR code that you see right there on your screen now. Could former President Trump's recent arraignment be null and void by becoming president again and issuing an executive pardon for himself? We'll examine that question when we come back. As former President Trump now stands indicted, he is also a frontrunner for the Republican nomination for president in 2024. And that raises a situation that is unique. If he wins back the White House, could he pardon himself? Here's Casey Decker with our Verify team who has the answer.
Former President Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony charges in a New York court on Tuesday. He's accused of falsifying business records to cover up a variety of payments. The charges won't stop him from seeking or serving a second term in the White House. Here at Verify, we got several questions from viewers asking, if he becomes president again, can Trump pardon himself from these charges in New York? Let's verify. Our sources are the New York indictment, New York penal law, the U.S. Constitution, and the U.S. Supreme Court. The Constitution gives the president sweeping powers to issue pardons, allowing them to reduce or cancel punishments for crimes. The Supreme Court has ruled that they can issue these pardons at any time after the crime has been committed, meaning they don't have to wait for a conviction. There are only two established limits to this power. One, the president can't unimpeach somebody, including themselves. Two, the power applies only to, quote, offenses against the United States, meaning federal crimes. Pardons for state crimes go through a different process, which varies by state but often involves the governor or some sort of pardon board. Trump's indictment is for state crimes, not federal. He's charged with violating New York penal law, falsifying business records in the first degree. So we can verify, no, Trump could not pardon himself in the New York case if he gets reelected as president. Presidential pardons apply only to federal crimes. Trump is the subject of several ongoing federal criminal investigations, and whether he could pardon himself in those cases is a topic of extensive debate amongst constitutional scholars, one that would potentially have to be settled by the Supreme Court. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
As always, if you see a claim online that you want us to verify, send us an email to verify@11alive.com. You can also text the word verify to the number here on your screen. Today marks 25 years since severe storms swept across metro Atlanta, resulting in a touchdown tornado in Dunwoody, completely, really hammering a lot of neighborhoods. One person was killed that day in 1998. 1,500 families displaced, 750 acres of land destroyed, $150 million in damage. It's funny, sometimes you can sit up here and you see video or you read a story that you didn't know you were going to read, and you flash back to that weather event. I remember living not that far away from Dunwoody and running to the basement with my family. It was really something. We really had some violent weather that night, and to this day, if you drive down Holcomb and Spalding, where they come together, you can see these sawed-off trees that are still there from 1998. That was quite a storm. That was at a time when we didn't see seemingly a lot of tornadoes in this area. Since then we have, but in 1998, that was a weather moment I think that any of us that were around here will never forget. Meteorologist Nicole Hartford joins us right now. Nicole, I know you are a native of this area, but you probably don't remember that one.
No, and I wasn't. I'm trying to think back to all the times when we ever had to hunker down in my basement, and I don't think anything ever came.
Yeah, that was
close.
one. I remember hearing the winds sounding like a buzzsaw. It was one of those experiences. I'm repeating myself, but if you experienced it, you certainly won't forget it.
Yes, and April is typically a very active month for us when it comes to severe weather. So far, we've had a very active year, but today is not one of those days. We're seeing nothing but sunshine across the state. Right now, our view out towards the King and the Queen completely clear, as well as up towards Rome, where even our winds have stilled considerably from what we were seeing just earlier this morning. As far as temperatures go right now, it is cool for this time of year. Our highs today only got up into the low to mid 60s. We're currently at 65 degrees in Atlanta. We're still seeing a little bit of a light breeze in some locations, but the winds compared to where they were yesterday or this morning have calmed, and they will stay calmer through the next couple of days. Right now, our radar is also nice and clear. The cloud covers down towards the south. We're kind of just in this nice little bubble across North Georgia and much of the southeastern United States that is going to stick with us throughout really the next couple of days. The one really good thing about yesterday's rain is our pollen count from today. It was only 34. It's a moderate on our trees, which is something we haven't seen in weeks, and also our lowest pollen count in weeks, which is in the moderate range. We haven't seen one of those since about the end of March. So your allergies might be feeling hopefully a little bit better today, but with all the sun and the incoming warmth and the lack of rainfall, we'll likely see those pollen numbers spike again especially into the middle of the week. We are going to stay dry Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then rain chances start to creep back into the forecast by Thursday night and into Friday. In the meantime, winds right now are out of the northeast. It may seem like a very simple thing, but that very small change of our northerly winds is what is going to keep our temperatures a little bit cooler into tonight and tomorrow as well. It's also going to keep us dry. Our humidity is low right now, and it's stays low through the next couple of days. In fact, we don't start to see a spike in that humidity until Thursday night and Friday as we also up our rain chances. So here's your Monday planner. Looks like a great day. We will be building in a little bit of cloud cover as we move into the overnight hours. So a mix of sun and clouds, kind of similar to what we had today, especially through the first half of the day, but I think we'll still enjoy a decent amount of sunshine. High temperatures, not all that much different from where we are today. Again, we'll get up into mainly the mid 60s, right around 65 degrees in Atlanta, which still puts us a little bit under 10 degrees below average. Our high temperatures, though, will be climbing through this upcoming week. So we're back to near 70 by Tuesday, and then we kind of plateau in those low to mid 70s through the entire week, which is very close to where we should be for this time of year. We will bring in that next chance for rainfall by Thursday and Friday. It's a closed area of low pressure that actually develops down towards the south and just kind of pops up towards the north. These are generally pretty hard to forecast, but our forecast models are in decent agreement as far as timing of this. It looks like rainfall will start to move in late on Thursday night and then kind of just continue on and off throughout the day on Friday. So it will be a little soggy to end out the week. I'm keeping those rain chances now at only about 50%. Not bad. We'll keep that low end rain chance, though, as we move into the weekend.
Hawks with their final game before the play-in tournament on Sunday. A lot of young players getting some playing time ahead of the biggest stretch of the year. Reggie Chapman with those highlights and more after these commercial messages.
Welcome back, everybody, and happy Easter. The Hawks facing off with Boston on Sunday in the final regular season game of the year, a game that could potentially be a playoff match between these two teams depending on how the play-in tournament goes for Atlanta. If it does happen, it'll look a lot different than how it looked today. Both these teams resting most of their top players ahead of the playoffs and allowing a lot of the young guys to play. Derek White, though, he's a Celtics regular, played today, which means he's appeared in all 82 regular season games in 2023, and honestly, that doesn't happen too often, so we're going to celebrate that. His teammate, though, Peyton Pritchard, played out of his mind. A career-high 30-point triple-double for him. Hawks did show a lot of fight, though. Some defense to offense. Saddiq Bey throws down the jam right there to give the Hawks a lead. Then a little bit later in the second quarter, DeAndre Hunter, the only starter for Atlanta that got some run, 14 points in 17 minutes as the Hawks led at the break before the Boston threes started raining down from the sky once again. A season-high 25 three-pointers allowed by Atlanta on Sunday. Sam Hauser, wearing that number 30, looked like Steph Curry as the Hawks dropped back down to 41 and 41, 120-114 the final. Up next, the play-in tournament.
Wrapping up the regular season, there's always some closure to that, and with the anticipation of a game next week, I thought our guys did a good job competing late into the game. Our focus needs to go immediately to Miami and what we need to do to prepare for that game. And it was a good job competing, but I think it transitions very quickly.
All right, Hawks in the play-in tournament for the second straight year, facing off with a familiar foe in Miami, who beat them in the first round of the playoffs just last season. Tuesday, they face off in Miami as the 7 and the 8 seed. The winner will face off against number 2 Boston in the playoffs in the first round. The loser will host the winner of the 9 and 10 game between the Bulls and the Raptors. Tip-off is set for Tuesday at 7 p.m. All right, the Braves still in the beginning of their season, yet the injury bug continues to plague them. Catcher Travis d'Arnaud, placed on the 7-day injured list after sustaining a concussion in Saturday's loss to the Padres. Braves looking to snap a 2-game losing streak to San Diego tonight at 7:08. All right, finally, it's the Sunday at the Masters on a beautiful day in Augusta. Love that drone shot. Final round, and Phil Mickelson turned back the clock in the final round, shooting 7 under 65 to give himself a shot at his 4th green jacket. Finishes 2 shots behind the leaders. Jon Rahm by just 2 strokes at 8 under is where Phil finished. Rahm doing his part to stay ahead, though the birdie here to get to 10 under. Brooks Koepka got down to 11 under and had the lead before smoking some of these putts in the last couple of minutes. Both him and Jon Rahm still on the course as we speak. Man, there's nothing like the Masters. We'll have the finish coming up at 10:11 right here on 11 Live. We'll be right back.
Shaped up to be a beautiful day today, and tomorrow will be another nice one. It is going to stay cool, so morning temperatures will be in the 40s, highs will be in the 60s. Honestly, a lot like today. Some cloud cover will build back into the overnight tonight. More sunshine for Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are easily the best days of the week before rain starts to come back in for the end.
Very good. Thanks. Thanks for watching. To read about breaking news when it happens, 11alive.com is your place. See you tonight.